All right, welcome back to my channel. This is an Anna's apple tree. This tree went through a lot. It went through the single-digit temperatures that we had and that snowmageddon thing that we had in 2021. That spring we had torrential downpours and it was raining constantly. Everything was waterlogged. They killed a bunch of my trees that year due to the excess water or the cold temperatures that we had. And then in 2022, we had the exact opposite. We had 3 months of no rain and temperatures 100 degrees plus every single day. Not a cloud in the sky. It was sunny. It was scorching. The ground was all dried up. And so bad that my building, the ground was separating from the building, the foundation, and it busted the pipes for my rainwater catchment system that go into my garage for my pump and pressure tank. Busted the pipes. I had 8,000 gallons at the time, lost all the water. I did a video on fixing that and finding a remedy so that won't happen again. I'm going to put that up here if you want to check that out. So through all that, the torrential downpours, the freezing single-digit temperatures, and the drought that we had last year and the 100-degree plus temperatures, this tree, it didn't even phase it. Whereas I lost a ton of other trees because of it. So what I'm trying to say here is, when you get trees, especially the amount I have, like, I don't know, 48 trees or something like that here. Had, not anymore, had. What I'm trying to say is those first few years, you're going to find out what trees do well and what trees do not, okay? This tree did just phenomenal, beautiful. I mean, if I'll plant many more of these trees if I need to. You have to, when you buy trees, you have to find out what zone you're in, of course. I'm in zone 8. So when I look for trees, you want to make sure your zone is right in the middle of what it says, okay? If it's right at the edge, for instance, if I lived in zone 6 and the tree says it does good from 6 to 9, that's cutting it close because the frost or cold temperatures may kill it. So you want to be right in the middle, and that's the best way you can do it. Also, when you buy a tree, you have to find out if it's self-pollinating or not. If it's not self-pollinating, you have to find another tree that will pollinate with it, okay? Self-pollinating, you have nothing to worry about. You just plant the tree, and the bees come, and they do their thing with the flowers, and they pollinate all the flowers, and the tree will do good. If it's not self-pollinating, for instance, this is an Anna's apple. The Anna's apple is not self-pollinating. It needs another apple tree to pollinate with it. Not the same variety though, okay? You need a different variety because genetically, if you get another Anna's apple, they don't self-pollinate, okay? Even if you have another tree. They shouldn't anyways, if they're genetically identical. From the same cuttings, put it that way. Then they're two genetically the same trees. But what does well with this tree is the golden Dorset apple tree. You want to find out which, because any apple tree will work for this, besides the same one, of course. It'll should pollinate with it. But the golden Dorset does well, and the reason why it does well, we're in January, and this is blooming already here, okay? It's got the flowers on it already. It's an early bloomer, okay? Some other apple trees are not early bloomers, okay? They'll bloom maybe in another month. So even though you got different apple trees, they bloom at different times, they will not pollinate together and they miss out. You won't get any fruit. Find out what does best with the tree you're getting, if it's not self-pollinating. The golden Dorset is supposed to bloom at the same time. It's an early bloomer. And so when they bloom at the same time, the bees can do their thing, and they'll have some delicious apples to eat. So those are the key things, guys. What zone you're in, make sure it's right in the middle when you're buying trees. Is it self-pollinating or not? And find out if it's not self-pollinating. Make sure you find the tree that pollinates best with the tree that you're buying. Okay, and that's pretty much it. We're going to plant. But this is the Anna's apple. I'm going to plant over there. I have another dead. I'm not sure what type of apple tree that is, but it's another apple tree there. I have to replace that one. I'm going to put the Dorset, the golden Dorset apple tree there. We're 20 feet away. That's perfect. We spent over $800, what you're seeing right now, on trees. These are bare root trees. They're still dormant. You have to keep the root systems moist on them before you plant, or I'm sorry, until you plant them. And yeah, $800 between that and the ones you see leaning up against the fence there. Those are two golden Dorsets and the Anna's apple, another Anna's apple that I'm planting today. So yeah, it adds up. You know, each tree is like $30-something, and you start buying a bunch of trees. It adds up, man. It's just crazy, a lot of money, and you no guarantee they're going to live. You know, so what are you going to do? All right, guys. So we're going to plant the golden Dorset over there. I'm going to pull that one out, and hopefully next year, we'll get some fruit because those are dormant. This one's already blooming. I doubt very much that's going to start, you know, blooming right now. So I kind of missed out this year. Next year, they should bloom at the same time, and we should have some delicious apples in 2024. All right, let's get planting. Okay, this is the apple tree I'm replacing. It's dead, confirmed, reconfirmed, dead. Okay. My wife was putting, wherever we have weeds and grass, just put them around here, and it keeps insulates the roots and all that stuff. So anyway, let me just get this out of the way, and I'll put it back later. Okay, I'm hoping I can just pull this out. Yep. It's dead. All right. 30-something bucks down the drain. Okay, so what I have here, I have some composted wood chips and manure and mushroom compost and some of the clean out from my chicken coop that I'm going to mix in the soil a little bit. Now this soil here is really good. I shouldn't have to do much to it because I really amended this soil good in the previous years. But all I'm going to do here is I'm going to dig this out a little bit. I just want to open this up. Yeah, this is some really good soil under here. Open it up a bit here. All right, this one here is the Anna's apple. We're not going to plant this one just yet. These two here are the golden Dorset. And we got to, before you plant them, make sure you spread out the roots and they're not all tangled up. Kind of spread them out in there, and we should be all right. All right. So we want to put that in here. Make sure your roots are somewhat spread out and not all tangled up. That's good. Also, when you're planting a tree, you don't want this deep to where you're, down to here or anything like that. But you want the ground level to be, right a couple inches above your last roots here. These are the roots right here, about right there. You don't want it too deep. And if it's a grafted tree, if you're buying these trees from a nursery where they're already in pots, those are grafted. That means they have a rootstock from something else, and then they grafted your particular tree to it. And you know what? I kind of think this one is grafted. Yeah, it is grafted. Right here it's grafted. I can see the difference here where they grafted it in. So I gotta make sure the dirt is, this is the grafting line right here. I gotta make sure the soil is below it. You don't want to cover that up, okay? So again, make sure the roots are all spread out. I think I can put a little more dirt in there. That should do it. So now we're going to put some soil on there. I'll hold it up. If it looks like the tree's too deep, just kind of lift it up, and then you can put some soil underneath it with your shovel. That looks pretty good. Again, the graft line is right here, and we want to make sure we stay, the ground level below that. You want to lift the tree up a little bit and shove some dirt under those roots. Okay, this is good. Only thing we need to do is just get a small stake and then put a little tie on there just to support the tree until the roots. You're gonna have to support it for at least the next year. So that is it for this tree. I just got to put a little stake here. And then tie it to the stake, kind of give it some support, at least for the next year, until those roots get established. I'd put a little bit of water now, not too much, just but the soil is pretty moist here, just a little bit. And then you got to worry about too, you're going to be getting rain. We're going to be getting rain in the next couple of days, but I'm just going to put a little bit of water here. I'm going to put that stake and tie this to it, and tie the tree to it, and we should be good to go. I'll worry about pruning. I might take this off here. You want the tree the first branches to start, about yay high. This has to grow yet. You want it to grow about yay high before, you start developing branches. But it's kind of small yet. We'll let it grow and develop a little bit. We'll worry about that more next year. This year is going to be all about growth. I may cut this one off here because it's really not necessary. These two I'm going to leave, and I'll let the tree grow. All right, now we have some of this tree tie tape here. I guess we can put that right about here. It doesn't have to be very tight, as long as it holds the tree up against the stake here. That's good. And this tree tie tape is nice because as the tree's growing, this stretches and eventually it'll break if you forget to take it off. So it's not a big deal. So that's good. That's all set. I had a smaller stake. This is a pretty thick wire here. It just wasn't strong enough. Later in the years to come, we can put a couple of stakes here, 3 stakes with some wire or rope or something to hold the tree. But for now, this is good. Right now we have to get the roots established. So what we should do now is give it a little water. Maybe a little fertilizer on top here. Water it. And that should be good. So I like throwing in a little bit of azomite, just a little bit around here. Kind of work that in. That'll soak into the soil. The roots are not very deep here. And we're going to put also a little bit of fertilizer. This is a organic fruit tree fertilizer. Just put a little bit around the tree. Kind of work it in. It's a small tree, so you don't need a whole lot. And we'll just give it a little water. We should be good. Just a little water because, like I said, it's going to rain. That'll soak down to the roots. I'm only a couple inches below the surface there. So that should be good. And that'll pull down the fertilizer and the minerals down in with it. Hopefully, well, next year at least this will, it's not going to bear any fruit, most likely not. Even then, you don't want it to bear fruit when it's this small. But what I need it to do is bloom so it'll pollinate my Anna's apple right now. Once this gets, in a couple of years, this will start producing fruit also. And I can have both of these producing fruit, not to mention the other ones I'll be planting later. They'll be producing a lot of fruit for us. And hopefully everything will work out the way I planned it and the weather will cooperate. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something about picking your trees, what zone you live in, and be right in the middle, whether it's self-pollinating or not, your tree. And if it's not self-pollinating, make sure you get the tree that works best for pollination with your tree. Alright guys, so thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.